Hey everyone, welcome back to Blade and Brush. I'm Mike, your wet shaver. It's been a minute and a few days since I last shaved, so we're going to go ahead and do our video today. Now I am using my Razor Rock Goat, as you can see from the thumbnail, and the Gillette shave cream. Basically, I just felt like doing a shave cream shave today, so I wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit of instruction if you're just tuning into the channel for the first time on why you should shave daily with a safety razor, or almost daily, because you do want to give your skin a break every now and then. So while I'm talking, I'll be doing my pre-shave prep. Now I just came out of the shower, which you want to do before a shave, because that'll help make your whiskers softer and therefore easier to cut. Because the thing about beard whiskers, they're as hard as an equivalent thickness of copper wire. You may not have known that, but it's true. So what you want to do is use a safety razor. Why a safety razor and not a cartridge razor? Well, first of all, because cartridge razors have gotten terribly expensive, and I am not kidding. You might spend anywhere from $35 to $50 for a 4-pack of cartridge heads. The razor itself may be relatively inexpensive when you first buy it, but the refills are going to get you every time. Safety razor, you don't have to worry quite so much about that. I'm using the Razor Rock Goat. Goat stands for greatest of all time. It's really not, because no razor truly is. But it is a damn sight better than most safety razors that you will find on the market today, in my opinion. Your experience may vary. And the reason for that is that this is 316L marine grade stainless steel, so it's very good in terms of construction and durability. It's going to last a lot longer than an equivalent brass razor with chrome plating. That's an unfortunate reality. Plated razors, no matter what they're made out of, they're going to wear down over time. I mean, everything does over time, obviously. But 316L marine grade stainless steel is designed specifically to be more durable, because a lot of razors out there are made out of aluminum or zinc alloy. The ones that are older, plated in brass, they may be a bit durable and certainly a lot heavier, but even they will, over time, have the plating wear off, and then it has to be cleaned and replated. And as much as I love some of my brass razors, like the Parker razors, that is something that's going to happen over time the more I use them. But since this thing is 100% stainless steel, including the cap and base plate, I don't have to worry about that quite as much. So I use a Bolin brush to make my lather. A lot of guys use shave soaps and shave creams, which is great because not only does it teach you a valuable skill, but you can also take your time instead of rushing through with a can of shave foam. And that black cube that I used on my face a few minutes ago is a Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements pre-shave soap that comes in cube form, hence its name, the Cube. And that is also meant to help you prepare your whiskers. So I've gone ahead and applied the lather. By the way, I use my boar brush from Sterling Soap Company. It's a very affordable brush. Highly recommend this and also the Badger brushes that they sell. They also have synthetic brushes if you're not into natural hair bristles. No condemnation if you're hesitant to use natural bristles. A lot of people don't like to do it for ethical reasons or because their skin just can't tolerate it because it's sensitive to animal hair. I understand. No condemnation here. So do feel free to go check it out and make a decision as to what works best for you. There are also other companies that'll sell whatever variety, but I find that Sterling is a lot more affordable and won't hurt your bank. So anyway, so I've covered my whiskers in lather from the soap, and I'm going to go ahead and shave. Now, when you go to shave, you're going to want to keep the razor, give or take, between 20 and 30 degree angle. That way the blade will cut more efficiently. Now you can try stretching your skin like so. And notice how this thing is taking off the razor, the stubble, I mean. It's not taking off the razor is taking off the stubble. I can't talk today, it's Monday. Now before you shave, you're going to want to map out your face. Give yourself a couple days, maybe 3 days for the whiskers to grow, and pay attention to which direction the whiskers are growing in. When you do your first pass, you want to go with the grain, which basically, let's say your whiskers on your face grow downward, then you're going to want to go downward with that first pass, because that will help get rid of that initial top layer of whisker growth, because safety razors are not about getting everything all at once. It's about reduction and then elimination. And whereas multi-blade cartridge razors basically are designed to give you like 3, 4, 5 strokes in one, safety razor typically has one blade on each side. So, I mean, it's all one blade, but one blade edge per side. And of course, the reason it's called a double-edged safety razor, which is what this is, if you're just tuning in and don't know what that is, double-edged safety razor is something that has the edge on 2 sides. That way, when one side gets full of soap, you can flip it around and shave with the other edge. Right now, if you've been following my channel since the beginning, I've already mentioned this, but for those of you who don't know, and because this is a tutorial video, like I said, you want to map the directions that your whiskers grow in after a couple days worth of growth, just kind of find out where they're growing. And so on my face, it generally tends to go down, and then on the upper part of my neck it grows down and to the right, and on the lower half of my neck it grows up and to the right, and around here it's all sorts of weird directions. And like I said, for that first pass you want to go with the grain, meaning the same directions that the whiskers are growing in. And some guys like to fill up their sink basins. I don't. All right, so for the second pass, you're going to want to do across the grain. And like I said, I'm using Gillette shave cream in a tube. What you do is you squeeze an amount, usually about an almond-sized amount, into the shave bowl, which the better ones are going to have texture in it. Like, let's say I'm using a Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements shave bowl that has crisscrossing lines that, or in a grid pattern, because a textured bowl will give you more and better lather than a smooth bowl. Shave Nation has lather bowls where it's got these little round bumps, but whatever pattern it takes, it's the same principle. A textured bowl will give you a better lather than a smooth one. So I'm applying the lather for the second pass, and the second pass is going to go across the grain. So unless you're in a hurry, you kind of want to avoid shave foam or shave gel out of a can. Because your razor is going to clog up a lot faster than if you use a shave cream or a shave soap. Now you may notice that I'm switching hands with my razor depending on what side of the face that I'm shaving. A lot of righties will use their right hands exclusively. Others will use their left hands if they're left-handed. I'm more ambidextrous, although I do write with my right hand. But I find that shaving both sides of my face with one hand is a bit awkward. And when you've got a razor sharp blade going up against your skin, the last thing you want is awkward. So that's why I do the way that I do. If you can do it safely with one hand, like the same hand, right or left, depending on your inclinations, then by all means, more power to you. I'm just saying for my face and my skin, it's less awkward if I switch hands. Because at the end of the day, technique is variable, and you got to use a technique that works for you. So I'm not going to judge you for using the technique that you find more comfortable. Now, obviously, you want to adjust your technique and improve it, because when you first start out, you're going to cut yourself, like a lot, because it takes a lot of getting used to. I mean, there won't be bad cuts. There'll be like nicks, the occasional weepers as you figure out what safety razor and what blade combination works best for you. Because different razors will be made out of different materials, as will the blades. I mean, usually steel of some variety, but some blade manufacturers will use new steel, others will use recycled steel or pot metal. And then, of course, different blades will have different coatings. And then there's like stainless steel, which the majority of blade manufacturers use these days. Others will use carbon steel, which is much more prone to rust and therefore needs better care. And then, as far as razors go, some will be made out of aluminum or zinc alloy, otherwise known as Zamic. Some will be made of brass, some will be made out of steel. And that'll bring it with it different weights and balances and all that stuff. So you've got to adjust your technique accordingly. All right, so the third pass, as you may have guessed by now, is going to go against the grain. Yeah, some guys will say technique is everything. But by that logic, you should be able to shave with a rusty can lid and get an irritation and nick-free shave every time. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So while technique is important, and you do need to adjust it according to the tools that you're using, it's basically like two sides of a coin. You can't have heads without tails. And since everyone's face and whisker type is going to be different, you might search around for the blade and razor combination that works best for you. All right, so like I said, the third pass is against the grain. And this is typically the elimination pass. So the premise behind a 3-pass shave is reduce, reduce, and then eliminate. Now, unlike multi-blade cartridge razors, especially the vibrating ones, it doesn't pull the whiskers up for the blades to cut, because that's how you get ingrown hairs. Because if the cut whiskers go beneath the skin surface, they're probably going to end up growing underneath it, and that's where you end up with razor bumps and ingrown hairs, and that'll cause all sorts of problems for you. And especially for people whose hairs are naturally curly, ingrown hairs are a major problem. And so a safety razor traditionally has been a way to avoid ingrown hairs. And once you've done your third pass, you want to run your fingers just to make sure that you haven't missed any areas. Usually my face requires some touch-ups because, like I said, hair's growing all manner of weird directions. And so I usually have to do touch-ups. And while you do want to stretch the skin a certain degree, you don't want to overdo it. Because again, you don't want ingrown hairs. Now, the Razor Rock goat was modeled on the highly popular Mercure 34 out of Germany. Mercure being owned by Dovo out of that same country. And the Mercure is a two-piece razor, brass handle, zinc alloy cap and base. I think the base plate might be brass, don't quote me on that, but the handle is definitely brass. And then the cap and base plate are made out of zinc alloy. It wasn't always like that. Years ago, the cap and base plate were made out of chrome-plated brass, but the company wanted to save money, so it tweaked its design, and now Mercure 34s are zinc alloy with brass handles. I don't necessarily like that, but it is a good razor, very popular. It's a mild to medium aggression razor. This one is modeled on that, but like I said, it is stainless steel 316L marine grade, so it's very good for resistance to corrosion and staining. And the tolerances are such that it remains a good medium aggression razor, a little bit more efficient than its parent, which I consider it to be because it's basically a clone of the Mercure 34. So this one is kind of like a more adult clone of the Mercure 34, but it's very popular with a lot of ex-military types and ex-police officers. But also just any new shavers, longtime shavers. It's popular with everyone. So this one is a little bit of a step up. The knurling, as you can see, I don't know if the camera will focus, but it's got great grip, so it won't slip out of your hand in an inopportune moment. But once you're satisfied that you've gotten all of your neck and face, actually, you know, let me all right. And once you're satisfied that you've done all that, you want to go ahead and get the excess lather off your face, because now you're going to go into the post shave. And also make sure anything that's gotten up your nose, get that out. Because soap leather might smell good, but it will damage your nose hairs. And the fumes can be toxic too, so don't hurt yourself. All right, so once you're done, you want to use an astringent like witch hazel. This is T.N. Dickinson's. to help close up the pores on your face and also treat any micro nicks and abrasions. You can also use an alum block. This is a naturally occurring mineral, which also has antiseptic properties. Now, most guys will wet it under water, but water tends to dry up pretty quickly on my face. And you want this gliding, not dragging. So usually, because the witch hazel dries more slowly on my face, then I can just go ahead and just run this over and wet it that way. It's kind of like a double disinfectant and also closing up any pores. So while that's doing its work, usually you want to give it about 30 seconds or so. So I'm going to go ahead and clean out my bowl. And now I'm going to rinse out my brush because for much the same reason that you don't want to leave any lather residue up your nose because of what it'll do to your nose hairs. You don't want to do that to your natural bristle brushes. Because lather soaps do contain lye, and that tends to dissolve organic matter over time. So if you leave soap which contains lye in, let's say, natural bristles, they will degrade. So you want to mitigate that by rinsing them thoroughly after each shave. So I use a brush scuttle. This is by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. The concept is that Phoenix uses is bowl within a bowl. So you put some hot water at the bottom of this, and then place the inner container in here, and that way you keep your brush warm in between lathers, in between passes. I mean that. Like I said, it's Monday and my brain is moving faster than my mouth can keep up, all right? So work with me here. All right, that is pretty much the concept behind it. But I find that, once I've done my shave and I've started my post-shave routine and I'm going to rinse out my brush, well, I can use the container, fill it with clean water, and after I've squeezed the bulk of the lather out of my brush, then I can just dip it and then squeeze out and keep doing that until the container is empty or the water comes out clear, whichever comes first. And that'll help extend the life of your brush. So now I'm patting my face dry. You never want to rub it because that'll strip your skin of any remaining natural oils. And shaving itself will strip your skin of natural oils. And you never want to use boiling water, by the way, to rinse your face, obviously, because it'll scald you. But it'll also melt the glue that holds the knot in place for your brush, and also risk cracking the handle of that brush if it's made of wood or acrylic. So you don't want to use boiling hot water. So just use the hottest water your tap will produce. So now all that's done, so we're going to go ahead and continue our post-shave process. You can use a decent aftershave splash. This one is a Pinot Clubman Special Reserve. You can find the regular brand in most box store shaving sections. That has a nice citrus scent to it. This one is a bit more woody and also has some musky notes and spices. Some guys like to apply it to their face after a shave to help tone it. Others are of the opinion that you should never apply an alcohol-based aftershave directly to freshly shaven skin. But I find that for me, it really doesn't matter because I typically apply a post-shave balm quickly afterward. But if you don't want to apply it directly to the newly shaved skin, you can apply it to the back of your neck, run it through your hair. Which might need some trimming. And I'm just applying my underarm deodorant while I'm waiting for the aftershave to absorb into my skin. Now we're going to use a post-shave balm. This is Nivea post-shave balm. It's a highly popular brand. Getting rather a bit pricey, unfortunately, because it is a German brand. And when tariffs go up, imported products, unfortunately, tend to go up in price as well. But post-shave balms are designed to restore moisture to your skin after your shave. So that's pretty much it in terms of how to do a proper shave with a safety razor. There will be better videos out there, I'm sure, but this is my tutorial video, and I wanted to kind of give you an idea if you're just discovering my channel, or if you're just surfing YouTube and you're looking for something different to watch. I thought I'd go ahead and do that, and feel free to click the like button, share it if you're so inclined. Check out the affiliate links below, help the channel, because I am currently between jobs looking for gainful employment, but in the meantime, I could use some income. So yeah, I do get a commission on the affiliate links below. So I do urge you to go ahead and visit those and maybe consider making a purchase. You don't have to, but it would help. And I'll also provide a link to where you can buy the Razor Rock Goat. It's a very good company, well established, very popular. But you know, with more people buying these razors, you know, that'll help. I hope to bring the price down on it, because this did have a rather high price point on the website. I got this as a gift, but you want to go ahead and make sure you can afford this before plopping money down. But it is worth the investment, and it will last you a lifetime. So. That is it for today. This is Mike for Blade and Brush, signing off.